Okay.
Where the bitches? Where the weed?
Let's get situated. Let's get situated.
Where the bitches? Where the weed?
Let's get situated. Let's get situated.
Where the bitches? Where the
Okay.
weed? We got that bomb ass yo. Some call it Play-Doh. Where the bitches? Where the weed? We got that bomb ass yo.
Oh, man.
Where the bitches? Where the weed? We
This
got that bomb
is
ass
a
yo. Some call it Play-Doh. Where the bitches? Where
long awaited recording that you are watching right now. This one here. We might be here for a little bit. Salutations to my KC natives. We are here to talk about the history of Kansas City rap. Hey, and Slim, if you see this, my bro Slim, shout out Slim. If you see this and I missed something, I'm my bad, bro. My bad, bro. That's the nature. I tried to do my research because these things I know, but I tried to do my research. Now, what are we talking about, people? Yes, bring it back. Bring it back. The history of KC rap on the left, starting from left to right as you see it on your YouTube screen, channel, device, apparatus, whatever. You got Rich the Factor on the left. Tech next to him. Fat Tone next to him. Then we got the Popper coming in on the right. In many ways, this may be looked at as the Mount Rushmore of Kansas City rap as we know it, or as I know it. Now, there's some other names. We're going to talk about it. There's some other names. You got to mention Boy Big. You got to mention Ron. You got to mention Young Diva. You got to mention Rondo. You got to mention Lee Joe. And there's others as well. But we're going to focus on these four for this video. For the sake of time. But I'm going to start it off like this. I shall be back. So, yeah. We're going to start it off with Rich the Factor. Rich the Factor, man. When you talk about Kansas City hip-hop, Kansas City rap, whatever you want to call it, there's no way you can have a discussion about Kansas City rap and not talk about Rich the Factor, right? I'm going to just read a little. It says, Rich the Factor is a legendary underground rapper and entrepreneur from Kansas City, Missouri, known for his prolific output, aka hustle, independent hustle, and deep influence on the Midwest rap scene. Despite staying largely under the mainstream radar, he's regarded as a pioneer and godfather of Kansas City street rap.
It's water, the whales, yeah, we blackfish. All black everything on my black shit. It's at the top of the cannon, that's great, nigga. From Akron, Ohio, where I stay, nigga. We move like orcas in the Atlantic. While you stitches sink ships like the Titanic. We go and knock it out and get back at it. Make the bag disappear like it's black magic.
Now, this leads us to this video. We're doing the history of KC rap. Let's listen to some history. This is JT, the bigger figure. Let him, the Cali hustle man. Like, well, and it's almost like you can almost see. You talk about JT, the bigger figure. You could tell kind of why Rich respected him to a certain extent, or how he came from. In some sense, you can maybe say the school of JT, the bigger figure. Now, when it comes to the street shit, I'm not going to go off into that too much. I'm not going to do that with Rich the Factor, but there's a reason why he is so respected in Kansas City. Let's hear it from the words of Mr. JT, the bigger. Let's go.
The whole Kansas City movement. Well, 1994 or 1993. 1993, I dropped an album called Players in the Game. I had my number on the back. Rich the Factor called me. I didn't know him, I never heard of him. I didn't know nobody in Kansas City. He called me and said he wanted me to produce an EP for him, and he had 6,000 or 6,500. And I said, come. So he
6,500. He said, "Come on with that, run that." Now, $6,500 in 1993 would be about $14,000 if you use an inflation calculator. That's about $14,000 in today's time. Rich was a nobody, he said. Well, now let me not say nobody, because to even have that money to do this and make this move, you definitely not a nobody. But let's keep it moving.
got on the airplane, came to SFO Airport, San Francisco. I picked him up. I brought him back to Fillmore with me. I called Demo, Quinn, Seth. I called everybody. Told them about this dude named Rich the Factor. This the first nigga I ever saw with diamonds in his teeth. And this is late 93, early 90, 94. And he brought all the money. He gave me all the money up front. And I made his beats for him right there on the spot.
Boom!
I made 6 songs. The name of the project is called Rich the Factor, Getting the Grip. It featured me and the GLP.
Right there.
That gave him automatic solidification in the rap game in our area, Bay Area. His style was different, but it was good enough.
Now, we gonna hear when we talk about Rich the Factor, his style was different. You hear him say that. And then immediately after he says that, he says it was good enough. And a lot of people, if they hear that, they might think that was kind of like maybe a shot. But if anybody knows about Rich the Factor, and salute to those who, if this is your first time watching me, salute. But for those KC natives, they know Rich the Factor was never claimed to be just the dopest lyricist ever. That's not his claim. We're going to get into Tech 9 and we're going to get into the skill and the skill sets and break down what Tech did. And we're going to get to that. But this is Rich we talking about. This is the godfather of street music in Kansas City. He wasn't coming to do that shit at all. He was strictly doing what he wanted to do. And I think that's going to be a theme in this. When you talk about Fat Tone, when you talk about The Popper, when you talk about Tech 9, when you talk about Rich the Factor, when you talk about my Mount Rushmore of Kansas City, these are all artists who did basically what they wanted to do. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, let's continue to listen to this.
Rich the Factor took the project. I showed him City Hall distribution. I showed him
The business.
SMG Music Group, E40 Uncle. He went back to Kansas City and he started putting on, dropping. He got more albums probably than anybody I know.
Facts.
His name is Rich the Factor. Proud of him, proud of everything he got done and that he's still doing. He's still dropping albums, still dropping mixtapes or albums, compilations. He got his clothing line, got his website. So I'm proud of Rich the Factor. You know what I mean? He did his thing. And over the years, you know, he started working with Mac Dre, you know, working with Messy Marv, Sebo.
Yeah, and this is the era that he's going into with working with the Messy Marv, the Mac Dre, Sebo, working with these different people from Cali, starting off from JT the Bigger to Mac Dre to Messy Marv. This kind of this relationship of Rich the Factor doing this, I want to stress how important that was because it almost formed the sound of Kansas City. Because Kansas City rap for a while, a good amount of time, when you look at the history of Kansas City rap, it's to me being born there and hearing this at an early age, I'm hearing this, then I'm also hearing what Cali's doing. Far as the style, far as what was coming out of Cali, you had the Brother Lynch and C Bowles. Far as production, the beats we were hearing, Cali had the Battle Cat. Don Juan, the producer, I can't stress enough. You will hear his name throughout this because he produced for basically every, produced for Rich, produced for Mess, produced for Tech, produced for, so in this sound, it made it to where Cali and KC artists were like peanut butter and jelly type of thing. KC audience supported Cali, supported Cali music. Cali audience supported KC music, and I think the term "Baby Cali" came around at a certain point. Um, even from calling KC the town, calling KC, and that's one thing I always never really knew the history on that, where they call Oakland the town. But I'm from KC, so I'm like, KC, I knew KC to be called the town before Oakland, but I'm not from Oakland, so I don't know which one came first. But it was like that hand in hand thing, one hand washes the other type of thing that was going on. We seen Mac Dre in Kansas City clubs doing shows, and and you seen KC artists in these other places, in Cali, in wherever Oakland, San Fran, whatnot, doing shows. So this is the type of thing that was going on.
Oh, he started putting on, he started doing his thing. So I want to shout him out. I know he got a lot of fans that be asking me about that. And now he's one of the biggest guys in Kansas City right now.
Facts.
Shout out to Tech Nine and them too.
Yes.
Shout out to the 57th Street Road Dogs, all
Yes.
them guys I met out there. Well,
Yes.
Rich the Factor is a legend. Y'all should Google his
Facts.
name, check his music out. He definitely somebody. Yeah, he's somebody. And people that I work with and learn from me, they learn that they got to keep going. Once you got the ball, you can't take your foot off the gas. But he just never stopped though. He just continued to keep going, dropping product back to back to back to back.
And he's still doing that till now. He's still doing the same thing. So for the first segment, I wanted to talk about Rich the Factor because I know everybody, if you click this video, there's some people out there who, they think Tech Nine is just going to be the only person we talk about. That's not true. He is going to be a big segment of this, but that is not true when it come down to it, man. Hold on. Let me pause this thing. Salute StreamYard for letting me do this. Now, an excellent segue to some other artists in which Rich the Factor, I spent 13 minutes on him basically, but to keep it moving, I mentioned a guy by the name of Don Juan. Shout out to Boss Talk TV. Dallas, Texas own Boss Talk TV did an hour and change interview with Don Juan, the producer, basically one of the most influential producers in Kansas City of all time. Don Juan, I can't stress enough. This is called Midwest Triple Life, the album. The only place on YouTube I can find this is one channel, and it has the complete album back to back to back. So it's not cut up. It's just a whole, I think it's like 60, it's like an hour-long video with this on it. And I was just talking about how Don Juan, he worked with everybody in KC, right? And this is a song here, you know, this Midwest with Triple Life, this album, and at this time, Don Juan was working heavily with Tech Nine. And to put this song that I'm gonna play right now, to put this song on an album and have Rich the Factor on it, that means something. Like when names keep getting brought up and keep being in different circles, it means something, man. Let's listen to this and let's listen to the sound. Listen to KC sound and listen to the Cali sound. It sometimes can kind of go hand in hand, like, oh, Don Juan got to be from Cali. Nah, it's just the sound. It was the sound. It was the intake. It was the era type of thing. So let's listen to this production. This is Rich the Factor and Don Juan. It's called Time to Roll, man. So let's roll, man. Now ride out.
Yeah, that's right. Misery Entertainment, bitch. You can't tame it. Major Factor record code. If you really didn't.
Mob music. Mob music. I often, a lot of times, when like if someone were to ask me, when it comes to this era, and you talk about California production at the time and what was going on in Kansas City, the one thing I would say that one thing that may separate it is the sound in KC was a little more mob music-esque. A little more mob music-esque than some of the Cali music that was going around. Sacramento, you had the funk beta, you had, you know, these other sounds and other things, and you had the Cali where it was like you hear the beat and you see palm trees. Like that's the Cali production, more battle cat-ish, where it's a little more cleaned up and tuned up. And then you had the mob music of Cali, and I think the mob music of Cali, when I say mob music, it's the, like when this beat comes on, like if you ever hear the term mob music, this beat kind of personifies it when it comes to bow, 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 like that's mob music. That's not the palm trees California music. And this mob music, you talk about E40, he had it. You talk about Mac Mall, you talk about like that was a niche, I would say, in the California diaspora. And that is kind of what molded the sound of what Kansas City was kind of built off of when it comes to the history of Kansas City. So, but we also did delve into that battle cat, that palm trees, Cali music, you know, that, you know, as well. But that's kind of how I would explain that. So this is what I'm talking about when I say mob music.
No, man. Don Juan, I'm trying to roll, man. I need the motherfucking bomb out of control, man. I'm trying to roll. Big. Gotta get big. I need 18.
And that's Rich talking right now. Rich talking this shit right now.
To the center like a bitch. These niggas gang
that's Don Juan rapping.
Like they on the beach. Hater, what makes you think?
But yeah, I just wanted to really just play that as far as just kind of like a reference point. I want to go now to Rush Border, Russian Roulette, Rich and Rush, Rich the Factor and Russian Roulette. Man, look, hits, underground hits, street hits. Let's listen to this real quick. This is my analysis. This is my analysis of Kansas City. Very fitting, I should say. Let's go. Let's do this though. This
is my analysis on how fucking foul it is. This is my analysis on how fucking foul it is. I run my clubs every day until they form calluses. This is my analysis.
This game foul that we chose. I used to get weed hoes.
Now this is Rich the Factor right here. That was Russian Roulette on the hook. Rush, Rich and Rush, you know, Mario and Luigi, whoever you want to call it, Batman and Robin, whoever you want to call it, man. That's what that's what it was the street Batman and Robin, goddamn. Let's go.
Get hash burns from making them fast turns. Watch my cash turn like lottery balls. In my Porsche sipping goose, lighting pottery, dog. It's a mafia, dog. Don't interfere. And you can't build a coalition in a year. Got to build your foundation, real with no faking. All hustlers on your squad with no hating. Surrounded by loved ones, rolling like dove ones. Everybody's focused with their mind on the long run. Now every soldier involved shine like a chrome gun. Fuck bunting front this lane with home runs. Now every soldier smoking the blunt.
Yeah. We ain't got time. We got a lot to cover. We ain't got time to listen to everything, but this is not about listening to the actual music. I'm going to give examples, and I'm really just going to stick with my commentary because that's what I feel like I need to do on this. So, yeah, boom. We talked about Rich the Factor. We talked about Rush. Talked about Don Juan. And I think the only place I could go next, and I want to know if y'all KC natives, if y'all know where I'm going to go next. After I talk about Rich, Rush, who am I going to talk about next? When it comes to these hooks, now I probably gave it away. When we talk about these hooks, where there's only one place we can go.
The streets believe in me.
Right now. Boy Big.
The streets believe in
Come on.
me.
Come on, man.
The streets
Come on,
believe
man.
in
There's only
me.
one place we can go with this, man. Come on. Look.
I've been out here for a long time. The streets believe in me. I can hear my music. Cars pass by. The streets believe in me.
Guess what?
Like it's the fact I can see on my back. The streets believe in me. So don't be silly. Yeah, I'm with it in every city. In my AC fitted. Yeah. Fresh off the plane. Man, it feels good to be home again. Hit my nigga Calico to see what it do. We ain't smoking right now. In a couple months, so be yeah. So he can be high like me. On the face passenger seat. Riding around town and my niggas ride. Quick to pull that thing if you niggas get strained. But this is
No. Hey, quick to pull that thing if you niggas get strange. Oh, no. Was that a shot at Tech 9? Hold up. We not going to do that. I'm not going to be up here instigating now. Boy Big. Strange music. We're going to go into them next. We're going to go into Tech next. But yeah, Boy Big, man. That's that guy. That's that guy, man. For those who know, if you know, you know, man. Yeah, I'm not doing this one for the views, man. I'm doing this one for us. I'm a martyr. Shit starter. Let's go. Anyway, we're going to keep this ball rolling. We're going to keep this thing going. And I don't know where else to go.
Damn! It's hotter than them bitches sitting up in the free
I don't know. I don't know.
It's time to get this party started right, baby.
I mean, what?
My name, they call me
Who?
Tech 9. And I need a Caribou Lou. That's 151 Malibu rum and pineapple juice. You know what I'm sizzling? You don't know what that is? You can't get the party started right without that? Let's do it. You want me to jam? I'm finna. Brainwaves pain from insane days make you sick like bad mayonnaise. Tech 9. Got the remedy rhyme infinity criminally finna be some shit. I crack you open like the youngest Mel Kennedy. Got the whole planet rocking off the low blows. Damn it, I show flows and poke holes that's supposed to be yo's. Seeing my haters in the dark alley tormented by mind dodging the. Now here's the message. Liberate me, chocolate, taking my rock now. Plague to the fuck what I said. Throw your souls in the air like this. Flash your barcodes while I stick them with another hit about this. The Tech 9 Nina out to find Virginia. Just to play a club and it rubbing it, loving it, cream of stream of my seam.
They know, man. They know. Hold on. I got to pause on this. This is a long video, man. Y'all got to understand. I got to go to the bathroom. Okay. As we enter the next segment, from the next person on the glorious thumbnail, second from the left, we got Tech 9 in the building, people. Tech Nine in the building, man. Of course, of course, of course. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. And once again, salute Rich the Factor. We gotta give him a round of applause as well. We gotta, we gotta. Can't have one without the other. You cannot have one without the other. All these new fans and things, coming around, all late and shit. When Tech Nine get all kind of different audiences and things. Nah, man. This is the history of Kansas City rap. It's only right. Yeah. So, Tech Nine, man. I I damn near don't know where to start. And a lot of the history is well known, it's well documented. That's why I spent as much time as I did on Risk the Factor because that's less documented territory. So if I spend less time on Tech Nine, that is because it's well known. I like to bring forth information. I'm not trying to regurgitate information. I want to bring forth information. There wasn't a video that I seen on YouTube called "The History of Rich the Factor," so I made the video. Anyway, I'm off of that. I gotta stop explaining myself. But Tech Nine. Now let's get into a little bit of technical talk. When we talk about Tech Nine, right? We talk about Tech Nine, and when it comes to originality, Tech Nine for what he was doing at the time he was doing it. I was watching an interview with Black Walt that said, I think it was like 1990. I can't remember, man. Like, but certain people get credited with certain things, and you see people, like Twista was the first person to rap fast and shit. I'm not saying Tech is the first person to rap fast, but there's a difference between what Twista does and what Tech does. In the Midwest, in KC, the style at a certain point was fast because of Tech, I think. Like when you talk about chopping, people just, even the term chopping is almost like you could say that may be accredited to Tech because this man been doing this. Like he's been doing this. It's like, and another thing, when we talk about rapping fast, right? There's a difference between you going hit him with another hit about over this. Like I didn't get another better, but anybody did him better, like Tech has a different cadence to his fast flow. If you hear Twista once, you kind of heard him every time. But with Tech, he has this cadence, this two-part cadence that he does and that he did that is very, very edgier seat. Like he's not gonna bore you because at a certain point, it's crazy. We was just talking about Boss Man over there on the Big Business channel with Boss and YJ, just talking about Busta Rhymes and how, Busta Rhymes, everybody like, oh, he raps so fast, it's so great, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then you listen to it and he said, every time I gotta hit it and I gotta do it and I gotta fit it and I gotta hit it and I gotta dig it and I gotta flip it and I gotta hit it and I gotta tick it and I gotta make it and like, you not saying nothing, motherfucker. What is that? You hear Tech and then you hear Busta Rhymes do what he do. It's like, no, 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 no. You're not gonna slide that shit past us, brother. You're not gonna do that, sir. Sir. Are you saying something or are you just rapping fast? And Tech is saying something. I gotta play questions, so we gotta pause. I gotta play questions. Yeah. Okay.
Name of this motherfucker's called Questions.
Let's go.
Rough draft.
This was off the gang-related soundtrack and Calm Before the Storm. Rapping at a fast pace, but having charisma. keeping attention, not being monotone, cadence changes, timing changes. All of this is a very let's just go, man. And see, the crazy part is I could play these songs and examples till I'm blue in the face. Till I'm blue in the face. Hold on, let me get my thing. Shit, I could play this shit till I'm blue in the face when it come to tech. I could talk about tech till I'm blue in the face. Y'all know the history, man. When it comes to the independent aspect, when it comes to the business sense, entrepreneurial sense of creating a lane for himself. I remember Don Juan was talking. I think it was that was the Boss Talk interview. Don Juan was talking about certain labels that tech was dealing with and them not knowing what to do with tech. How do you even market this guy? How do you even market this guy? And it's like, man, what, like, how do you market this? I could show some pictures that just, y'all know Tech was doing the photo shoots around that angelic time, man. That's him, man. That's what he's different. How do you even market that? He said, you know what, fuck it. These other people don't know how to market me. Let me market me. Let's build this warehouse in Lenexa, Olathe. I forget where the hell he got his headquarters at. Built the whole headquarters. And you know, you talk about the no limits when it comes to the independent, black-owned companies, the independent spirit from No Limit Records. You look at No Limit headquarters, you know, where their business office was, and then you look at what Tech built, man. Come on, it ain't no comparison. No comparison, man. That man got sitting on acres and shit. You know, whole tour bus, owning tour buses and like shit like that. Man, that's why it's like you say King of Kansas City, and this is the guy. Tech is the guy. He's the one. I will admit that he's the one, but that doesn't mean these other names did not play a pivotal role in the shit. And that's why I had to do Rich first, because these other names, they play when it comes to Kansas City, the street, like what people was actually listening to. Yeah, they was listening to Tech, and I feel like we still listen to Tech because he's one of our own from Kansas City. So we gon' listen to him. But at a certain point, success and the resources and all of this that played a part in what Tech was doing, certain people don't want to change with the artist. There will be some who do, in which, you know, I'm give Tech a chance every time he drop. But there's some people who don't. And there's some people who like that street shit that Rich is still doing to this day when it comes to doing that type of music. I do think, I will say, as far as the landscape of 2025 KC music, I don't know what's going on. You know, like I said, like when I'm making this, this is the history. I'm gonna talk about Ron. I'm gonna talk about Young Devy. I'm gonna talk about Rondo. I'm gonna talk about Lejo. Automatic, the album, classic album by Lejo, aka Lejo Green. This is the era that I know. I don't know this new era. So I can't make a video about 2025 rappers in Kansas City. I know where Seventh Heaven was in Kansas City. I know it's one of the places, it's a damn near like an epicenter of what was going on at the time. And this was a time when physical CDs and flyers and things were posted, and we digested, as a kid, I digested information differently than 2025. So I don't even know who's on social media. Like, who's a KC rapper out in 2025 who has over 5,000 IG followers? I don't know. Because that's not how I digested the history of Kansas City rap. I digested it more from a word of mouth sense and from a record store, like going to the store and seeing the artists who are there. Oh, like, just going through and flipping up. They used to have a big CD cases. They had a CD, but then they had a non-theft shit with the little square rectangle on the bottom so you couldn't stick it in your pocket. That's what I'm used to. So that's what I'm going to talk about. But let's continue. As you see on the screen, we got somebody by the name of the Popper. The Popper. Mr. Nationwide Mouthpiece. The Popper. Yeah, man. We got he's on the list. He's on the list, man. I had to show Popper some love, man, because I feel like Popper, when it comes to what he did on the mic and this project you see up here, this called Turning Point. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and get into it and I'll talk about it. When we talk about mob music, man, this is I don't know what better example I can give you, man. I'm giving you the sound of Kansas City at this point in time. Let's go.
Society wonders why niggas smoke, slang, and screw. Looking to get them, man, there's hardly anything to do. Most of the time I'm gone off a gang of brew. That's why my gut protrudes out like a kangaroo's. Gangs of dudes that I know drink the same amount of liquor as a wino. Back-to-back blunts, a daily routine. All white staffers in blue jeans, rolling in a Chevy that's too clean. Rules lean, as you know the judge. A stressful world, so lots of people go to drugs.
Yeah, man, landmark that. The Popper, this is some of his early work. He did come on later on with Landmark That, did that whole thing. A notable song I will note is a song called Prospect, The Popper, Rich the Factor, and someone else on there, man. Dope collaboration, one of the dopest out of KC collaborations. Another notable collaboration I would say is Fat Tone. We're gonna talk about Fat Tone next, but it was a song called We G's. Messy Mar, Fat Tone, Rich the Factor, and someone else, Yuck Mouth, I think. Goodness, that song. Man, come on, man. It's history out here that gotta be touched on, gotta be talked about. I don't see nobody talking about it, so I figured I'm the guy. I'm the guy for the job, man. Let's do a little bit more.
Snitches, lots of people know the fuzz. Did y'all forget what a true street soldier was? Beat the fifth to strike your phone like a cobra does. Roll prospect OD, smoking Doja Bud.
And again, back to originality. The way the Popper's rapping, and he has been rapping like this for a while. I don't know if he still does it, but at a certain point, all of his vocals was layered. Okay, everybody was doing the two takes stacked on top of each other at this time. Everybody was doing that. That's nothing new. T.I. trap music, whole album, he layered every single vocal. He rapped it twice on top of each other on the DAW. One thing the Popper did that, and I never thought about it at the time, but when I listen back now, the Popper, he had two different rap voices, and he rapped his two different rap voices at the same time.
Supposed to love, but we only feel 7 out of every 10 rappers are phony dudes.
You notice how he had 7 out of every 10 rappers, and then he got his other one, 7 out of every 10 rappers. It's two different tones actually rapping at the same time. I thought that was unique,
We sports a Tony shoes, some move, hella keys, we pipe, hella hoes, dodging up Penelopes, we avoid felonies. With the street hustle that never stops. Where I live, there's liquor stores on every block. The fine hoes be giving head.
And it's very intentional. It's not like something where he just couldn't get his voice down to do it right. It's very intentional when you hear him. And when you hear the dialect from the Popper, it's a very clear, it's very concise. Now, the mixing, we can go into that. The mixing wasn't the best at the time, but hey, I gotta salute the Popper on this when it comes to the Mount Rushmore of Kansas City rappers, man. I had to. I think the last person we're gonna talk about, we got Okay, so yeah, the popper that's on, he's on the very right there in the case he fitted as he should be, sort of something like myself, But the last person we got to talk about is next to Tech. That's Fat Tone, man. And I think Fat Tone, he's one of them figures where I think people think what he could have been, how big he could have got if he would have got that big, if he would have really just got bigger. But the thing about it, man, when it comes to these street artists, man, uh, if Fat Tone would have lived, of course he was, fatally shot in Las Vegas. There was a lot going on at the time. From Mac Dre getting shot on the highway in Kansas City to uh, Fat Tone's untimely demise in Las Vegas, there was a lot of talk. It was a lot of speculation. I think the person, what's his name, Mac Minister, I think they said somewhere around it, but supposedly someone got, you know, is doing time for the murder of Fat Tony. There's a lot of talk about it. As far as KC and Cali, I guess, people feeling like, Mac Dre coming into KC and the love he got. I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate too much on it, but I just kind of wanted to paint the landscape when it comes to Fat Tone, who was, you talk about, it's 2025. We got drill rap, and I don't think I would classify Fat Tone as drill rap, but I definitely would classify him as gangster rap. Um, as far as details, because I think my distinction comes with details. There's drill rappers who, the person who they have drilled gets mentioned on songs that they are currently putting. Like, it's just a little bit different. Gangster rap is, I feel like it's a little more discreet, but not discreet at the same time, because you're still talking about some wild shit. But yeah, Fat Tone, when it comes down to Fat Tone, his energy, when it comes to his energy, it's like the charisma is ever present, if I could say that. Let's listen to a little bit of Fat Tone. This song's called Hustler. Let's go.
Trip, right? Me, it's a trip, right? Me and Cut D be sitting up talking like, nigga, we millionaires. We millionaires. 60 on top of 60 on top of a million. That's me.
This off a mixtape. This is not my music.
I hustle in my rock voice. I stayed on a black top. 24/7 pushing A1 crack rock. The first young nigga from the set to flip a drop. The first young nigga from my set to shook hops. The first young nigga from my set to cook rock. Now I'm in the game getting all mine. Don't fuck with you niggas cause y'all small time. Hustle all your life and sing small dimes. Talk about licks through a small time.
And with Fat Tone FT, he's another one where it's just the originality is there. Like, Casey had a sound in itself, but the big players are the people who are moving the Godfather puppet of, if the puppet is the representation of the sound of KC, they each had their own originality. I don't know what's going on now, but I can guarantee you the level of originality of KC artists has gone down, because that's basically what's happened all around the globe. I'm going to just be honest with you. It's hard to tell when someone's from Kansas City now. If you hear their music, it's hard to tell if someone from even Texas, a lot of, Cali kind of keep their sound just because of the production, but it's kind of hard. Everything is kind of like mixed now. It's a little weird. That's why I like this era of KC hip hop,
Me and my niggas, we get the money, get the cheddar. This summer I'ma come in the Hummer with Gucci leather. Sitting on street wheels, living like Donald Trump. With 57 acres of land, I ain't no money. Now you sure that's real?
And the crazy thing about Fat Tone is, look, like he was the most serious dude, or not serious, but he talked about the most gutter shit ever, but he still had a sense of humor at the same time, if that makes it just by how he say shit, like how he just said the last shit, like he just had, you could tell he had a little sense of humor on him. Like,
Money, I'm slimming like Donald Trump. With 57 acres of land, I ain't no bum.
I ain't no bun. Like, you know, the ad libs and things. It's the character. It's the charisma. It's all of that, man. And I respect it. I respect it, man. So definitely RP
You sure
Fat.
that's real? I mean, I'm talking about cake here. I mean, count that again. Big, let her know.
Even how he would say shit like, that's Fat Tone. That's Fat Tone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like he was just one of them animated, like when the mic come on, he's gonna be FT. And I respect that, man. I think I'm gonna leave. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I think I've done enough. I think this is the longest video I've ever made. Well, pre-recorded. You know, the live stream. We do this thing about 2 hours sometime. But yeah, man. I think I'm done talking. My mouth done got dry. I'm sitting up drinking. You know, cigarettes, they don't help. You know, so yeah, man. This has been the history of KC Rap. It's your boy YJ, and I'm out this thing, man. Yeah, yeah.